Hello and welcome. This is my Wildcard predictions for the NFL playoffs. Sorry I haven't uploaded to this channel that much. I uploaded like week 1 predictions and then left. It's because I was dealing back with things on my main channel. I couldn't even keep uploading there. It's been a long year. But I'm going to try to get more active on this channel, especially since college football season has ended and I have more room to talk about things. But I'm not going to waste any time. I am going to ask you if you like this video, if you want to see more NFL content, predictions, going to start doing highlights and more of that nature. Like, subscribe, and tell me what you think. But let's get into the first playoff game, which are Raiders at Bengals. Cincinnati's is favored by 6.5, I think. Raiders barely snuck in here. They obviously had that big overtime win versus the Chargers where they almost tied, but they didn't quite tie. Raiders just seemed like a team of destiny almost. I mean, I thought they were done after Gruden got fired and Ruggs got in the car crash. I thought this team was just going to fall in on itself, and I kept waiting, and it never did. It just kept going, which is really impressive. This Las Vegas Raiders team has been very resilient, and credits them for that. This Cincinnati Bengals team, I got to give them credit too. They have been doubted since the beginning of the year. A lot of people have them going like 5-12 or having very few wins, and they proved everybody wrong. And I was one of those people, so I'll admit. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals, my bad, have been red hot. Cincinnati Bengals have been red hot these past few weeks. And this will be a very interesting playoff matchup. But I do think the Raiders pull the upset. Bengals haven't won a playoff game since 1991, I think it is. And that's not why I'm picking the Raiders, obviously. But I do think it's interesting, and I think the streak of no playoff wins will continue. And I think the Raiders will pick up the W. I think Derek Carr will play an amazing game. In order for the Raiders to win, I think he does have to. And I think he will. I think he'll play one of the best games he has up to this point. And I think he will play just spectacular. And I have the Raiders shocking the Bengals. I have the Raiders winning by 10. If I had to put an exact score on it, I'd say Raiders 38-28. Next game, Patriots at Bills, AFC East rivalry rematch. This one's going to be interesting. You have the Patriots led by rookie Mac Jones, who's having a very good rookie season, which, as a Dolphins fan, that sucks. Rivalry, your rival QB is looking good, and they look like they have their QB of the future. But as an Alabama fan, I'm very happy for Mac Jones. But of course, he's been very good, very precise, very smart. Patriots also have an amazing O-line with one of the best running backs in the NFL in Damian Harris. They have good offensive weapons. And they have a great defense spearheaded by Matt Judon and J.C. Jackson, one of those Belichick defenses. But the Bills aren't no scrubs either. They are led by Josh Allen. But that's all I really need to say. Josh Allen is an amazing player, and this team really does rely on him a lot. But I will say this will be an interesting matchup. Last 2 times it happened. First time was the game where Mac Jones notoriously only threw 3 passes in the heavy snow. But the Patriots still won comfortably. And then the second one was where Josh Allen played a spectacular game and ended up upsetting the Patriots. This one's very hard to go either way on, but I am picking the Patriots to win this one, to upset the Bills. I think it's very hard to bet against Bill Belichick, and I just think they'll get it done. Josh Allen maybe force him into a mistake, which is very hard. But if you do, it's very hard to come back from a mistake against Bill Belichick. You understand? So I have Patriots winning. I got them winning in a close one. I got Patriots by 7. If I had to put an exact score on it, I'd go 31-24, Patriots win. The next game are the Eagles and the Bucks. This one's also interesting. I'll probably say that one about every matchup. It's interesting. No. But this one, a lot of people think this is going to be a blowout, like a 20-point blowout. Bucks are favored by 8.5, which is a pretty good margin. And I understand why. Bucks are obviously the defending Super Bowl champions. And they have the GOAT, Tom Brady, along with a very good defensive side of the ball and a lot of weapons on offense. But the Eagles aren't slouches either. They have a very good team. And yeah, they might be the 7th seed, but they still have a very great team. They're just very young, which is one reason why I am picking the Bucks to win this one. They are very young. And I think the Bucks will get it done. I think the Bucks cover the spread too. I got them winning by 13. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I think the Eagles are going to get blown out. I really like the Eagles. But I still got the Bucks winning by 13. If I had to put an exact score on it, I'd say 42-31. Bucks win. Next game, the closest one of the weekend. Got the 49ers at the Cowboys. Obviously an old, classic rivalry. Two of the most storied franchises in NFL history going at it. And I know a lot of people hate both of these teams, but you can't deny it. Two of the best franchises in NFL history in a classic rivalry going at it in the playoffs. What more is there to like? Two very good quarterbacks playing in this game, Jimmy Garoppolo, Dak Prescott. Got some very good skill position players on both sides. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, you got very good skill position players on both sides of the ball. Two very improved defenses. I think this one will be very close. The Dallas Cowboys are favored by 4.5, I think. No, not 4.5, 3.5, my bad. And I think the Cowboys will eke out a win. I've been going back and forth on this one, but I do think the Cowboys win this game. I got the Cowboys winning by 6. If I had to put a score on it, I'd say Cowboys win 34-28. Next game, the Steelers at the Chiefs. This one's been talked about a lot. Chiefs are favored by 12.5, the most by in any playoff game in the history of the NFL, I'm pretty sure, which is interesting. The Steelers have not looked great at times. They needed a lot of help to get into the playoffs, and they have not looked great all the time, obviously. Big Ben, while he might be a top 10 quarterback of all time, he is not his old self. He is not very mobile or really good at all. No disrespect. And the Chiefs are very good. They blew out the Steelers last time they played them a few weeks ago. But everybody's saying this is going to be like a 20-point blowout. And I just don't feel that at all. I think the Steelers come in, kind of shock them. I do have the Chiefs winning. I do think the Chiefs win. But I think it'll be a very, very, very close game. A game down to the wire. I got Chiefs winning by 4. I got Chiefs 28-24. Chiefs beat the Steelers. And for the last game, I got the Cardinals at the Rams. Two division opponents going at it. It ought to be a nice one to watch. Or that's what some people think. I don't think it. I think the Rams are going to win by a lot. They are favored by 4.5. But I think the Rams win big here. Cardinals started the season great, but they fell apart. They've had some injuries, but they just fell apart coaching-wise. They just crumbled, and they made it to the playoffs. They're a good team, but I think the Rams are a very good team headed by Sean McVay with very good pieces, with a top 5 quarterback, or at least he's played like a top 5 quarterback this year, Matt Stafford. And I think the Rams win big in a shocker on Wildcard weekend. If I had to put an exact score on it, I'd say 35-21. Rams win by 14 and easily cover that spread. Yeah. But those were my picks for Wildcard weekend. If those picks were to happen, these are the games that would be set up. In the divisional, you would have Raiders at Chiefs, Pats at Titans, Cowboys at Bucks, and Rams at Packers. If you want to hear my thoughts on those games or what those games are going to be, or what on the realistic matchups, I hope this is what they're going to be because I will get my picks right. But you know what I mean. If you want to hear my thoughts on the divisionals, you have to come back to when Wildcard weekend is decided. But thank you if you're watching this video. That means you watched the entire way through. I appreciate that. That means you stuck around and heard my opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win this weekend? Give me some upsets. Give me which team's going to cover the spread and not. And let me know. I read every single comment, and I love hearing different opinions on football. But I'll see you. Goodbye.